Fine. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to David Kaula. Welcome to David Kaula Live. That's the opening sequence for now until Donald makes us a song or Amu makes us a song. Some of you were here 3 minutes before. Wow. Thank you, baby. Put them down. Thanks. Bringing me slippers like we're in the Bible. Like she's about to sing. Maotzama, yeah. Maotzama, yeah. Maotzama, yeah. Kali bitso la moya. Hwang. Guys, I'm gonna get straight into it. Everybody's here. Letlo, Brian Dube, Sihle was here like 5 to 10. Sankolo is here. Tuto is here. Bitumelo Akusua is here with a Nigerian name. Tabo. Sfundile. If it's your first time, Sfundile is Tim Donald. Now I recognize her. Yeah, man, I'm starting to even recognize Tim Donald. Caesar is in the house. Tepo keep changing names. Guys, Tepo Ramet is Swart Black. Same person here is using a picture from 1980 where he didn't have a beard. Sipo Owen is here. Kumkani from PE. If it's your first time, let us know it's your first time. Welcome to David Kaula Live. And let us know where you are, where you're coming from. Sihle, are you on 2 accounts? Or is there another Sihle? Putimoloto is here. Tobela Tepo, my sister Lorraine is here. Kebisa Slatsoayo, Boxy Lava is in the house. Fundile. Sihle, are you the other Sihle or there are 2 Sihles? Sbusi, so Putimoloto, guys, it's very addictive. I'm so tired from hiking, but I'm refusing to sleep. Low key telling us she went hiking. Yeah, but Cape Town people have a problem, guys. Luyanda is in the house. Puti says Sihle must mark the register because she's already here. Newcomer, I watched Sia's interview and Nyangwa Le House, KWT, Eastern Cape. We are welcome, Tando. Grotman, Frieza is here. Let me cross over to YouTube. Okay, Manwai, crossover boy. Ernest Allen Bisaki is here. The usual suspects are here. This is great. Sihle Kumalo. No, this is Sihle from Team Donald also. It was my first time yesterday. That's amazing, guys. Welcome to all the new people. This is a big family. You're all welcome. Welcome to the family. Don't be shy and be honest. Enjoy the show. Bathong Swart. Swart and I share a common friend for the past 18 years. Yo, who's the friend? Becoming Brie. Okay, guys. If you're not yet subscribing, please subscribe. Remember, guys, go to your social media, go to your Facebook, go to your YouTube, copy the link where you're watching from, repaste, repost, share all over your timelines, wherever it is. You can share them. I'll appreciate it. I'm about to bring my guest. Before I do that, I'm going to go to my own page, grab the live link for the show, and repaste it on my timelines. We're here, we're live, we're in the house. And guys, we have a new guest. Yo, guys. I come from far with this guy. We used to convoy near whatever Joe Slovo Drive used to be back in the days. Or it was Joe Slovo Drive, I don't remember. Hanover, I think it was Hanover. Whatever that off-ramp, we used to go to a place called Jungle Connection with a guy called Julius. We used to call him Julius Nyerere, but I think he was Julius Makweru. who used to organize poetry evenings, and that was the only place I could do material for black people. But it was a poetry evening and a poetry joint, and then I'll be the only person there doing stand-up comedy. That's where I came up with the Mzansi Bully jokes, by the way, because it was the only. I mean, there was no blacks only. There was no comedy blackout. I was performing to thousands of white people at the time. So this is, I don't know if we met there with Melusi, but I remember us I remember us going from one place to another in a convoy, driving similar cars. I don't know if I was already driving the same car as him at the time, but those were good times. Those were good times. He's here today, ladies and gentlemen. He owns an advertising agency. He's a father. He is, and now he's an author, and he's got a very popular page on Facebook. In fact, let me do this so you guys can see his page. Please go copy, paste, repost, tell everybody we're live. We're here. It's 10 p.m. and we're here until our guests get tired or until our feed gets cut by the people that own it. We're just subscribing. I want to put up some of the pictures that he sent me earlier so you guys can see his work. The circus has started in my house. My 2-year-old is screaming. One more paste, one more paste, one more paste. And we're live. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't forget, tomorrow night, guys, we're watching Donald at 8 p.m. And then 10 p.m. we're coming back here, and Donald is coming back here with his Team Donald Cares concert, followers, fans, family. Then we're going to have our own show, and we're going to have some dating. There's a dating thing happening tomorrow night. Don't forget. Remember, we have those words we don't mention, guys. Bo, Kuriri, Roro, the Rory, the Rona, that letter and the number 19. We try to avoid, but anyway, guys, please let me welcome my guest, Melusi Tshabalala. Am I saying it right, Tshabalala?
Tshabalala. So it looks like a cha because
Tshabalala.
Tshabalala. Yeah, thanks to Home Affairs who gave me an extra T many years ago, and I never went back to sort it out.
So it was originally Tshabalala.
Yeah, Tshabalala.
Yeah. Hello to the people in the background, the Team Melusi.
Yeah. So
hi guys.
What I've been seeing is that when people do these sort of things, they have bookshelves and then the bookshelf. So I have my kids here holding books so that then I fit in. So I'm like other kids.
Are you paying them?
Every day. I've been paying them for as long as they've been alive.
So they are prepaid. Yeah, so, they are prepaid.
Yeah, so let me have books, guys, please.
I wanna hook up those books, man. This is hilarious. This is the best bookshelf I've seen, bro. This bookshelf must trend. I think this first part of the show definitely we're gonna have to cut and paste and paste it everywhere. This is the best thing I've seen. Is that who's the tall guy in the tracksuit pants? How many offspring?
So it's Tumelo. Tumelo is the tall guy. He's 17. And then there's Azande, she's 8, and then there's Akile, he's 6. Yeah.
I last saw you at whose birthday?
Azande, I think she
Ah,
was turning 6, I think, 2 years ago. How old were you turning
ah.
2 years ago? 6, yeah. Yeah.
Have you had any birthdays in lockdown?
Tumelo turned 17 during lockdown. And then my mother turned 63, I think. Yeah. And then, yeah, so those two happened during lockdown.
When is yours?
December. No one cares, man.
Are you before people have? Are you when people still have money or after?
I am Kadi 14, so just when everyone is starting to get into Nagoya vibe, yeah. So it's on. It's on, yeah.
Man, that's the best bookshelf I've seen, bro. In all this
Yeah,
Zoom
no,
thing.
and I'm sure the bookshelf is gonna need to go to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
What time
But
are they?
kids will decide.
What
Yeah.
time do they normally go? So mine, I might put my head up and then I realize midnight they're still up, and then I send them to bed midnight if they're still up at midnight.
I think during normal conditions, 7 o'clock, not Tumelo, obviously. I think Tumelo one. Yeah, so Tumelo during normal conditions get 11, and then Baba Nyaniva they sleep at 7. But right now, because of that other thing you said we should not mention, yeah, whatever, man, get fun.
Because of Loki.
You know, since
Because of
Umatan.
LD or because of Loki.
Yeah, because of Mlogo. We, whatever.
Yes, says I'm keen to see how long they can keep this up. Eh? Do they know there's no limit to this interview?
No, look, now I told them or they can go to sleep and Bahana. They're like, nah, but are they gonna stick it out? I think it's just to avoid going to sleep. But to me wants to go to sleep. So Tumelo, you can go when.
Or is he also holding books in the
Oh,
bag?
no, okay, yeah. All right.
Or is dismantling the bookshelf? What books are they carrying? What books are behind them?
I'm afraid I did not even, but let me see. Here, that Trevor Noah, Born and Cry, Amaranda Wright, Ripped and Torn, Peter Cave, The Big Thing, Sam Thomas, Yes We Can, a biography, President Obama.
Have you read all of them?
The Big Thing, yes, I have, but The Big Thing is like the puzzle stuff philosophy. So there's no way so it fits you. So every once in a while, when I need to go to the bathroom, I pick it up and just open a random page and then read some confusing stuff.
I know I have a lot of books. Some of them I haven't read, and
Yeah.
but there's a lot. But then I'd buy more books and read those. Or lately, I'm doing a lot of audiobooks.
Oh, okay.
And believe it or not, the latest one of the best books I've listened to or read, Hustle Hard, Hustle Smart, 50 Cent.
Okay.
Curtis Jackson.
Okay. I can imagine that must be an interesting book.
Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
to see to hear the stories behind all the choices he made along the way. You know, from his albums, first album, who he signs with, and the business decisions and brands he's associated himself with. And I think you'll like it.
No, I'll definitely check it out, man.
You know, he's managed to tell the stories that I think we as Black people or Black South Africans are failing or struggling to tell. We don't tell our
Yeah,
stories, and people don't really know who got to where, how, or what were the struggles
yes,
behind whatever they're seeing now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, Patrice is a easy, quick example. Um, First Black dollar billionaire in South Africa. I don't know if anyone knows his story. I don't know if he's ever spoken about it. I don't know if there are any books that I might not know about. But you can imagine, like, if this guy was the first Black billionaire in any other country for that matter, there would have been a few books about him already.
no, Linda, I don't know if I know how Patrice became the superpower that he is, and I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any book or anything of the sort that any of us know. But yeah, you're right. You're right. We don't do a great job of that most South Africa does.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be an interesting story to tell, man. But um, did you think you'll ever write a book?
Look, well, growing up, né, I was very interested in writing, and I don't know if I, yeah, first naively I thought so, right? I thought I would, and then as time went and I realized what's involved, I thought no, I'm never gonna do such a thing, right? But as then as you know, as I was approaching 40, I was like, no, man, I really need to do this thing. And I had started writing a book when I started writing this everyday Zulu thing without intending it to be a book. So I was writing another book, but to be honest, it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere. Um, and then I started doing this everyday Zulu thing, and then it rather got a life of its own. Yeah, yeah.
So everyday Zulu became, you sort of were writing another book before that.
Yeah, yeah. And they are completely not related. You know what I mean? So it's not as if this book that I was writing then evolved and became Everyday Zulu. No. That book I'm still working on. I don't know if it will fit ever, but I really do want to finish it because it's the story that I have in mind, or the story that I'm working on is quite funny. It's a hilarious story. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
is it
Everyday
fiction?
Zulu, yeah,
Is it fiction?
it's fiction, but um, yeah, it is fiction, but it's creative non-fiction. So what I like doing now is taking things that have happened to me and around me and turn those into stories. You know what I mean? So the core is non-fiction, but I then package it in a creative manner and turn it into a fiction story. Yeah, and just throwing a lot of spice to make it interesting. You know what I mean? Because as much as I think my life is interesting, if I were to not exaggerate, then now it wouldn't. No one would care. It's not that interesting. I'm not 50 Cent.
I used to say most of us sort of have a similar life coming from a township.
Yeah.
And if you have a Mendoza, you have a Zola 7, um, you can only write so much about their background because at some stage, all Kwaito artists came from Zola, or all the guys that were,
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
making hits were all coming from Zola. And you think of how many guys come from Alex, politicians, sports guys, your Brian Balois, your so if everyone was gonna write a book and then there's the chapter about where they come from, they might as well combine the first chapter in all their books, and be like,
No.
we come from.
I think it's true, you know, but I've thought about something similar. I think for me the interesting stories, you speak about when we first met Boma 20 something years ago. I think it was
2000,
Boma. Yeah,
2001.
yeah. Um, you know, for me those stories are when we all left the townships or the rurals and we all found ourselves in the suburbs. You know, for me, those stories are quite interesting because as much as our backgrounds were similar, we were not all here necessarily for the same reasons. And when you look at us now in our 40s, we have not traveled the same path, you know. So I think those stories for me are quite interesting. And I mean, and also we've lost a lot of good people along the way because of some of the reckless life, some paths that some of us chose. And if there's a movie or a book I would still want to write, it's that one. All those stories and you know, converging and diverging and people becoming parents and getting married and just the general shit show it all was.
People don't know we used to convoy from the Val back to Joburg on the N1 at 160 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, look, I think where you get this wrong, convoy. I think you had a car. Now I wasn't convoying at the time. Now I was catching lifts, lemagenge. So
Where
I bought my car much later.
was it
So
much
I
later?
wasn't, yeah, much later. I think I bought a car 2000 and I don't actually, maybe not. You know, it's so long ago, dog. I don't remember.
So from the what sparked the everyday Zulu idea on Facebook?
Okay, all right. So, in 1998, I got into advertising as a junior copywriter,
Yeah,
and immediately I was unhappy with the way that industry treats languages that are spoken by Black South Africans. Yeah, right. So the Afrikaans, English, but primarily English is the golden child. And I
yeah,
don't just mean in how we interact within the agency or in the building. I'm speaking about when the work is created, campaigns are created, right? So a campaign will be generated in English and then it must be translated into the other languages. And so initially, I mean, the translation services now have improved quite a lot, but back then they were not really great, right? But the translation issue was not even my biggest gripe. My gripe was when what happens when you then go into studio to then record those adverts in all 11 languages. So how it works is you would record the English,
yeah.
and everyone involved in the project would be in studio trying wanting to make sure the English goes well, right? So you've
I've
got the
been I've
copywriter,
been in one of those studios.
yeah. So you've got the copywriter, everyone is invested in how the English ad turns out, and great. I mean, you should be invested, but then and the Africans, they would also be invested in the Africans, and then everybody leaves, right? And if you are a black creative, then maybe you can stay. But if there's work to be done back at the office to create more English language campaigns, they'll drag you out of the studio. So now in the studio, you are left with the sound engineer and maybe the language advisor. So and the voice artists.
Yeah,
So they are really quality control. Everyone is gone. And
yeah,
for me, it's like how? But so they don't care our languages. So if people don't care about your language, the brother, I can tell you they don't care about you.
yeah.
So you just feeling so yeah. So it's something that it had been something that had bothered me for a long time, and you know, you would complain, you would fight, and it I mean, I even quit advertising. I think it was in 2001 to go start an entertainment company, Pepsi. I don't know if you remember.
DJ Pips.
Eh?
DJ Pips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DJ Pepsi. Yeah, we had a company called Monyuku Productions. Monyuku Productions. You know, so yeah. Two 20-something-year-old delinquents throwing parties, Bobo, Mahuta versus Fed Cook, Leisure Lake, all of those events. And it was from that frustration of working in this industry where I just felt, nah, I don't fit in here. You know, they don't like me here. They don't like my language. I quit.
Yeah.
And so, and I returned, but there was still that fight. And then I left to go do my own thing, you know, to first I started out freelancing with the hope of growing that into my own agency. And then you realize, you know, you're trying to position yourself to brands and companies in a manner that is differentiated from the big agencies. And one of the things that I tried to bring up was to marketers, because I didn't think that you could change the industry, and I still don't think that you can change the industry by dealing with advertising agencies. You know, those people have no vested interest in changing, because the agencies are born. Why must they change?
Yeah.
But if you go to the marketers and say to them, hey, Bonang, you guys, by continuing to give all your accounts to these guys who don't care fundamentally about the audience that you are speaking to, you are actually failing in your duties, right? You are just throwing money down the drain. And so in 2017, I had written this article about exactly that radio scenario that I spoke about, where there is no quality control. So I'm saying every year billions or hundreds of millions are spent on African language radio being produced by people who have no interest in African languages or the African language audience. So, and including the marketers leave the studio when Setswana and Sesotho. So I'm saying, so you guys are spending all this money and there's no quality control. And you can hear this when you're, and Runa, because we're multilingual, you'd be listening to Metro FM and you hear an ad and it sounds great. And then you switch to Cause, you hear the same ad, and the voice artist, you know? And I don't blame the voice artist, because if they said to me, Mfetu, can you do Cause? I'll be like, yeah, I can. And because no one in the room knows the difference between when Mukosa abosi Zulu and when Mzulu abosi Zulu or whatever, you know. So, and I tried to bring that up. But as I read this article, I'm like, you know what's going to happen here? I'm just going to get even less work than I'm getting now, because now I'm calling people out and Batloro is full of crap again. And so, and at the same time, as I said, I was turning 40 that year, I got 2017. And I had started relooking my life. I had started relooking my life, and I had started to, let me try and do things differently. I had started reading different types of books and listening to podcasts. And the one thing that I picked up that stuck with me in the one podcast, the guy had said, you know, no one listens to angry people, right? And what I took from that is that they were not saying don't be angry, because anger is good, right? Anger is good, because if you're angry about something, then you change it. But what I took from that is, how do you then deliver your point, right? Got this thing that you're angry about. Because if you are angry and you start speaking, people go, Melusi again. You know, I do not want to listen to this guy. They just shut down. And I could see it. You know, it happened. You know, I'd walk into meetings and people were like, it's this guy. You know, here we go again, come Melusi. And so I thought, okay, how do I come from a point of positivity? How do I come from a point of positivity? And I thought, you know what, let me celebrate my language, which is isiZulu. And I thought, instead of trying to force it down people's throats, let me show them that we can be creative within our own spaces, using our own life experiences in a manner that celebrates them and respects them, not as an afterthought. Or, yeah, how do you make this campaign blacker? You know, and I had also started to notice the real power of social media to make a difference and change, right? And so I decided, or I'm going to celebrate isiZulu by writing stories built around a single isiZulu word a day, give its English equivalent, and share that with people. And because I'd worked in advertising for such a long time, a lot of my friends are people in advertising, PR, and marketing. And I was hoping, and I didn't really think it would go anywhere, but I was just hoping it would inspire other people to also celebrate their own languages in their own little spaces. And even if you are at your ad agency or your PR agency or in your marketing department, maybe you just start giving African languages a bit more attention. That was my plan. So that's
Why?
where.
So, why was Facebook natural for you, or why not Twitter? Why not screenshots and quotes on Instagram?
Okay, so Facebook for me has always had a sense of community, and you engage with the same people over and over, right? And I also liked writing lengthy things. So that Twitter 140 character thing does not work for me. But I also don't like that energy, Yago Twitter. that stuff. I can't deal. I can't deal. And then videos. Even now, I'm very uncomfortable sitting here speaking to people. I'm not that guy, right? So I really like writing less than speaking. I don't like speaking. It's not really my thing. So Facebook works for me in that sense. I can't hear you.
No, that's my fault. Hadi.
Oh, okay, cool.
I muted myself because there's always sound effects in my house.
Oh, okay.
Now there was water boiling. Yes. No, it's fine. You must come tend the wood for me, please. So, which township did you come from, or were you
Now
born?
I was born ko Baragwanath Hospital ko Soweto ka di 14th December 1977, and we
Um,
lived ko Mfulo North ko Skotpola.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are exactly Jan, Feb, March, April. You are literally 4 months, 4 days older than me.
Is it? Yeah, I was blind side. Kurumane.
That's a good mistake, man.
Yeah,
So,
no. From now on, Tamel.
so, so
Tamel.
coming from Soweto, going back to how we all grew up, some of us, coming from Soweto, the writing, right? You
Yeah,
liking writing even more than a video or TV for that matter, in terms of being in front and
yeah.
preferring to be a copywriter telling actors or voice artists what to do in front of a camera, essentially, or writing for them. Where did
Yeah.
that come from? Like, was there like a academic background in the family? Um,
No, no. There certainly is no academic background in the family, but Olit Laka, really used to get me books. and so I read a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
But the first bit of writing, in fact, that I started doing was Kwaito music for my friends who wanted to be Kwaito stars. Now I was the ghost writer because I didn't want to be a Kwaito star. So Nikingola Dipina tsa Kwaito. And that yeah.
Did any of them make it?
No, I wrote the songs. There's no way they're going to make it. There's no way they were going to make it.
Did you charge them at the time?
But we also had we had no connections. We didn't know anyone. We didn't know where to start. But and then I wanted to be a filmmaker. And the first proper thing that I actually ever wrote was a script for a short film. I don't know if you remember that competition called Mnet New Directions.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I wrote a script. And when I look, it was a very, very gloomy script. Everyone died at the end. Like everyone. I think there was even an infant who caught a bullet. Like who shoot everybody in the show. And that's because at the time, that was the reality of my life around me, even though I myself, I was not interested fully in Dulutsa, gangster and that stuff, but that was the life, that's what we spoke about, and that's who we worshipped, And so I wrote this short film, Kai Submita, and it went through the first round. But at the same time, I had then decided, I want to get into advertising. And I managed to get a bursary, AAA, and that's when I abandoned this filmmaking thing. Yeah.
So Tepo Swart or Swart Black, basically all the movies I've made from Mzansi, Mnet, all my comedy shows, he does all the sound, right? He's the sound technician, best sound guy I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
And has shot a couple of commercials as well. So I don't know if you can see his comment.
I'm reading it now.
There'll always be like 8 black people, I'm assuming that's what he's trying to say, that are supposed to be in charge, when you are on set. But there's always like one white person that can overrule whatever ideas or decisions they think they're making.
Look, I'd be lying if I said that has not changed quite a lot since I first started, right? There are way more black people, and there are way more black people in decision-making positions. So if I sat here and said, yeah, there's been no improvement, I'd be a liar. I really would be a liar. I think for me, where the real issue is in ownership. Who owns those agencies?
Yeah.
That's where the change is not really happening. And there are some agencies now that are really doing well, but that's where the crux of the matter is. But in terms of the people doing the work, black seniors are many now, even at CEO level. So I can't sit here and lie and say there has been no improvement and say that the industry has not tried to transform.
So you've owned your agency now, right?
Yeah. Look, right now I don't own an agency, and I'll give you my journey in how that happened. So in 2009, I worked at Young and Rubicam.
How many languages do you speak? Sorry.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I speak, but if I'm speaking to you, whomever you are, I'll try and speak your language. So, and I suspect now there are people who follow Melusi's everyday Zulu who speak only English and are thinking I'm only speaking Sizulu whenever I'm speaking an African language, and they don't know what I'm speaking Sesotho because I'm speaking to Mosotho. So I switch to language here, whomever I'm speaking to. But I will not lie again. Chivenda, I guess Gavi,
Yeah.
Angsazi is Venda, Istonga, I dabble. But then the other languages I can kind of hold a conversation. The one that throws me off is Xhosa.
Really?
People will tell you Xhosa Tswana isiZulu. That
Really?
language I Tswana isiZulu. Yeah, bra. Yeah, there are some things. But when those people start speaking Xhosa, the brother, kuba mnyama.
So I speak, I think 1% Zulu, but
Okay.
Xhosa nalo wena singahlala phansi sithethe mfondini.
Yeah. You see that stuff, that's the Xhosa that sounds like isiZulu, that I get. But when you're sitting with, let's say, two Xhosa speaking people, amaXhosa amabini, and then they start speaking, the brother, no. You mustn't come lie here. Or for instance, if you're watching the news and on SABC, there's Xhosa news. I don't know what they're saying there, fit. I just know what banyoba mapolisa. I remember the first time I heard that, where they were like, unyobe amapolisa. I was like, damn, maXhosa are brave, man. Dimano unyobe amapolisa. And then someone told me, no, man, that's not what it is.
Bribing.
So, yeah?
Bribery, right? It's to
Yeah,
bribe.
but I had never known who
Yeah.
is bribing, you know what I mean? I just thought you were maXhosa gidinja boss.
I used to think I understood a bit of Zulu until Isibaya started on TV. Then I realized my Zulu ain't shit. But about share me, bra. I warned you about this audience. So about share, yeah. About share, about distributors.
Oh, okay.
One asked, is he not married? You know who's the instigator here? It's Tutu.
Hey, Mara, why is it Tutu?
That's the problem.
I can
That's
see,
the
yeah,
problem.
I can see. And then she's busy saying, lockdown has been good to me again, and she's not lying. I've been eating here, locked in this house eating, Baba.
So look at this conversation. So this is Tuto. She explained levels last night, level 1 to 3, from snaking to people catching feelings.
Yeah.
Then Buitumelo says, you don't say, right? Then that's the other comment. And then someone says, take him, Buitumelo. So the irony here is we did this march for anti-women abuse, where we marched to Pretoria. Well, we drove and then we gathered when we got there. Yeah. But initially we had done this poster with a catchphrase, not our women. And then the women
said, our women.
Our women.
Yeah, you'll die, the brother.
That's how Black Coffee
you want to die, you.
You know, Black Coffee got into shit for posting the poster thing. Then they were bringing up other shit. So now I'm laughing because here now you are being given to women. Like you're not even being asked, you know? Yeah. Like if it was you and I saying, take Tuto, it's going to be a totally different reception, especially on Twitter.
But I suppose the dynamic is different, because we do take people forcefully, you know? So I think, for instance, it's non-threatening, You know what I mean? But I think maybe when we say it, it evokes other imagery and other feelings. So yeah, yeah. But you know, yeah, our women, the brother, you mustn't say our women. You're going
Oh,
to
bro, we
laugh.
got into shit so quickly. It was, and I mean, even men, were like, "Hey, guys, you can't say this shit." But there
Yeah.
was so much emotion involved with when this idea came up, and then there was a flyer, and then there was we're marching on Monday, and then there was we've cancelled the march. You know who
I
started?
know.
Who came up with the whole idea?
Yeah.
Kwela, Tebolo Road.
Oh, double. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Gemona. Yeah.
yeah, they were
Yo,
initiating the whole thing. It worked out in the end.
is it?
Um,
Le
it,
machiste.
we drove,
Le
and
machiste.
then I don't know how much of this you followed. So we gathered Nazareth. We drove. We gathered Union Building. Some ministers came and received the memo. Whatever, we're supposed to self distance, and there can't be 50 of us. And then TT confessed that he so so the march was on a Sunday, and then on Wednesday we saw on Instagram TT Mba had gone for a test on Friday because he wasn't feeling well, and then he
Okay.
announced on Twitter that he's positive. So everyone,
It's okay. Cove
yeah,
number.
yeah, code number now. So everyone loved it.
Heaven. And he was part of the match.
He came.
Heaven. Hey, man.
So, so most of us from that march and that WhatsApp group that started it, we've been self-isolating.
Gents.
There was some drama there in the background. I mean, he
Mara
apologized.
sharp, no.
Rashab Na actually sat across someone who tested positive the following day. That had nothing to do with
Oh,
TT.
okay.
So I had to self quarantine and chill out. But I think for me, I've always been trying to just not engage, leave the house only because I have to, or if I really have to. We live online now. We were talking about this show. I was talking to someone, even after COVID, yada, yada, yada. For
Mm.
me, this works because it's happening this way. Because it's not in the studio. Is she going to bed? No.
Oh, how about? And you must just lie here then. You know.
So yeah, we were saying how things have changed, or it's almost like this is preparing us for a different or certain life.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed spending time with my kids, with family, and I've spent more time with my last born than I did with the others when they were that age, because I was all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm willing to readjust to this, even post COVID, or when there's nothing, or when there's no kori or whatever. Um, you see, I said the name, and then the audience is freaking out. Hi, Kona, bruh. So I'm gonna load the other books shortly, but so you've written one book,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and you said it's available at Exclusive Books, right?
Yeah. So the book, Melusi's Everyday Zulu, has been available at bookstores since 2018. Yeah, since 2018. It's also available online. And from that project that started off or on online, there's the book, and then I've got a feature on Kaya FM every Saturday, Lee Jenny Chris William, and then I've got a column in Fin Week, And then I also have an online now portal where, whereas the everyday Zulu stuff online I mean on Facebook, on radio, and in Finwick is still that one word and a story around it.
Yeah.
Now I also have a portal where if you really want to learn the language properly, the rules and the structures of word formation and sentence formation, you can enroll for that, right? And
Yeah.
the site is everydayzulu.co.za. And to be clear on that, I am not an educator, I'm not an isiZulu academic, so I worked with somebody who does that stuff, who helped me create the curriculum. And so while it's a standard curriculum, the structure, it is then designed around how I around my book and the content of my book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, that exists. And I've got subscribers. In fact, during now lockdown, subscriptions onto that everyday Zulu portal for the basic isiZulu course have really helped put food on the table as earning my regular salary. And I want to say to this, I no longer own an agency, I freelance. No, I left all of that. I freelance, and it's been really spanning has been tight during this period, and the portal has helped a lot in that sense. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the one.
yeah, bruh, congratulations, bruh. This is dope, man.
No, the brother,
You know,
it,
for me, I'm gonna go back to not even the what is this book, the 10,000 hour rule? Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell.
yeah.
Um, forgot the title of the book. Um, but I wanted to say, for me, then can you say that everyone is, you know, we especially in entertainment, I guess in life in general, we always say everyone is one whatever away from greatness or fame or money. So in soccer, it could be you are one goal away from. If you take Pure Tshabalala and the World Cup goal,
Yeah,
and what it potentially did for him, having scored the first goal at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. You know, the opening goal of the
yes,
tournament.
yes, yeah,
Um, and then obviously for musicians, it's like everybody's like one hit song away from. You can have
one hit,
100 hit
yeah,
songs for 10 years, and then you've got one hit song, or you come out and you have one hit song, and that's your first song. You know,
yeah.
and it totally changes. Would you compare or say Everyday Zulu has been that thing for you, or you think you've had all this that one thing, those opportunities, or has this
So
become that thing?
I think in terms of uh, I think in terms of finding peace with myself and fulfillment, it's done that for me. You know, everything else in Nikita Nelispan, you know, I was at work, and which is why I was in such turmoil with my advertising career because Nikifilagari Kispan,
Yeah,
Kispani. And this, I feel like, yeah, man, this is, and for me, you know, and because it started from a place where I was saying, no, as Bodaki, we cannot be second class citizens, you know, because for me, that's a bugbear. That's something that bothers me. And then to see that struggle of mine in my little corner starting to take shape
yeah,
and become a business on its own
yeah,
and see people and yeah, so yes, it is kind of that thing, you know, monetary wise, yeah, no, you know, it has not made me a millionaire, but spiritually and just contentment, I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting there. And and also what's important is that it was never about Zulu fundamentalism. You know,
Yeah.
Melusi's everyday Zulu is not what we must all speak isiZulu. It's just that's the language that I speak, and that's the one I was going to highlight. And so we also now have everyday Xhosa, where I brought on board a friend of mine, and also advertising guy Wing
Yeah.
Wing Uqinile. So he does everyday Xhosa.
Yeah.
We've got everyday Kiswahili. There's a guy sitting in Kenya doing everyday Kiswahili. We had everyday Sesotho, but the woman that was doing it, Tusbongile, got busy. So yeah, we've had quite a few, and even now I'm looking for other writers to do the other languages. But
Yeah.
for me, yeah, David, it is something that gives me much joy, you know, and I think even
Yeah.
my children know that it gives me much joy because they don't even speak about me being an advertising guy. They
Yeah.
associate me with
That's
everyday Zulu.
crazy. That's crazy. And you've been in advertising like 15 years, 16 years of your life.
No, dog. In fact, today is year 22. I first I first got into advertising on the 1st of July, 1998.
Dude,
That's
that's,
when
that's nuts.
ngangena ku-8 agency. Ngahlala phambi kwekhompyutha ngathi ngisebenza la.
Yeah, I think we were outliers, or outliers was the title of the book I was looking for.
Okay, okay.
That you had to be born at a certain time or almost be in a certain, when they say surround yourself with whatever type of people. So if you think of when you were born, and then I was born 4 months, 4 days after you. So you started 1st July 1998, right?
Yeah.
I started stand up October 1998 in Cape Town. And then full circle, now we're sitting here.
Wow. Wow.
So it's nuts that it's your 1st July and you're like, this is where we are. And
Yeah,
and
no. Jesus.
so so obviously you've got all the partnerships with some publications, radio stations. In terms of now this, I might be putting you on a spot, but in terms of this now, Everyday Zulu name, brand becoming like a bigger business, are you
Yeah.
looking, or would you consider partnering with other people? Or is it like you must hang on to this Zulu thing? No, other people are going to mess it up. It has to be a certain way.
No, no, no. So ngiyabona la abantu bakho bathi ngikhuluma isiZulu. And ngisaba ukuthi uDavid angeke ezwe yabona.
I
David
don't want to lie.
uzoxakeka.
I Sulu
David yabona. But buka ndoda. So I am not no, I am willing to, hence I said ukuthi, we've started doing everyday Xhosa. We've got everyday Kiswahili. And even in those ones, the writers that come on board, they have ownership of those projects.
Yeah.
So Bona Nami, we then own those projects together. Right? But no, I must own the whole thing 100%. No. But that said, one of the things that I did want to do was to own my own thing.
Okay.
Right? Where even when I had an agency, I had always had partners. And I got to a point where I thought, no, man, is there something that I can do me? Gube eyami, gube yagiti.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things about Everyday Zulu, where I'm not sharing it with other people. I've founded it, and I don't have to discuss with anyone the direction that it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But hence kasi Zulu ki eng. Ay, ito ako na joke. Hey, Tito is a problem, bra.
Yeah.
But hence kasi Zulu ki eng.
Loyo ngizophuma kuwe because ngiyamazi personally and uthanda ukungihlupha so nje angizingeni ezikathuto. Yes sis. Ngavelelwa.
Someone says they'll do everyday Tswana, but I'm questioning that choice because they are also the same people that they'll be the stepmother to your 3 kids.
Yeah, no, ngumbonile. I saw her that one. I saw her that one. So when I David, in fact, I'm currently in the process of adding another leg to the everyday Zulu thing. Before we went into lockdown, I had recorded a pilot for a podcast called Melusi's Everyday Zulus. Not Zulu, Zulus. All right.
Yeah.
So Zulus is people who are Zulu, Amazulu, right? People who speak isiZulu. So what it is, it's a podcast featuring, so per episode I feature one individual who is either Zulu or someone who speaks isiZulu.
Okay.
And we speak about all sorts of things, but very similar to the Facebook thing, it all hinges on a single word. Right. My first guest is rather, and oddly enough, this is going to be strange because the name is going to throw you off. But my first guest is Utapilo Mukwena.
Okay.
Right? So even though he's a Tapilo Mukwena, he presents as Umzulu, and that's what we speak about.
Yeah.
You know, and the word is Isbongo. So we delve into him, his surname, and his life. And how is it that he's a Mukwena, yet Ungumzulu?
And I was interested, I heard him mention they have a farm or their families from Kwakwa or something.
Yeah, so
the Free State.
I'm not gonna tell Tapelo's story.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but yeah, so we recorded the pilot.
Yeah. So we'll listen to the pilot if it's available.
No, I don't have it. We recorded it during a lockdown, and then lockdown, before we could finalize. And then today, we were in studio putting the final touches to it. So I'm sure it will be ready very soon. Pilot yakona, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm being harassed here. Welcome,
member. I can see Tuto is. I can see Tuto.
No. We need to orientate. Melusi, video how it cropila your head.
Cropila.
So. So Melusi, awusitshele mina ngizokhuluma isiZulu ne. So Melusi, guys, in his everyday, and I think the reason why you ask him a question, David, yini I get Facebook over Twitter, Instagram, what. I think Melusi uthanda abo Karen. Uyayazi lento yabo Karen. Abo Karen bathanda Melusi. Abo Karen baya respond kuMelusi. Melusi ulwa nabo Karen all day. After his post, ulwa nabo Karen Melusi. This is the reason. And then abhala ama-thesis trying to explain kubo Karen why he bhale into ayibhaliwe. That's the reason why Melusi athanda Facebook. Awusho Melusi, khuluma iqiniso nje.
So Melusi, what I was going to ask you was, has there ever been either someone offended or someone accusing you not knowing the Zulu or the word that you're talking about or not interpreting?
I think that Yabona lo umbuzo and we've had, weirdly enough, those things have come up, but it has been positive. Yangithola it has been ukubonisana ukuthi no mfo why uyibeka kanje ungayibeki kanje uyangithola. No I think you Tuto, what's up?
No, finish, Melusi.
When I Tuto, you're talking about different fights to what David is asking me. The fights with Okeren are a very different issue altogether. You know, what David is asking me is that Amazulu amanye, do other people go no for what you said there is not correct. And there have been instances like that, but it has never been a fight. Yangithola, it's been discussions with Nomfo. And then there have been times where I've considered, yeah, you know what, you're right.
But I think
didn't put it properly, and then I'd go back and fix it, Yangithola.
But as one of your fans, because I'm a fan to Melusi Everyday Zulu, because I'm learning isiZulu, yabo. To be honest, I've never seen AmaZulu arguing with you about what you have written or explained. What I've seen though is Abo Karen arguing. Bo Karen have a right over everything. They argue over what you write. But I must be honest, from a lot of, especially the Zulu people, dololo, pushback, because Melusi today ukhuluma English ekhulu kodwa everyday Zulu guy. Can ukhuluma isiZulu please? David uzofunda.
No. You must remember, people
it's not like
from all over the world.
Ngiyafunda mina. Imagine bathi an everyday Zulu guy is here, and then the everyday Zulu guy is speaking hands.
Yeah,
Come
but that's
on.
yeah, so that people understand he's not just some guy who speaks Zulu one word every day.
Okay. All right. Okay. So another reason why I came on, to be honest.
Tuto,
yeah.
To be honest, if even the everyday Zulu project is in English,
yeah,
because I'm not speaking to Zulu speaking people.
No, true. But yeah, true. But it's to everybody, ne? So the reason why I popped in, because I'm going to pop out, I need to refill. My beverage is finished. Yeah. So at some point I need to refill. The reason why I came on is Melusi, kuna nentombi la iyafa ngawe, iyafa. Lalela Melusi. So mina I'm the relationship bridge lana, yabo. Kwintombi la yazi every time ukhuluma uyafa le ntombi le iyafa. So there's a format template nyana about dating here, and it happens to everybody. It happened to me yesterday. It was a shock of my life. Yeah, I ran. I mean, so somebody's keen here. So we facilitate virtual conversations, or we can give her the link angene naye asikhulumele ukuba hey Melusi Tshabalala ukubizwa ngomshengu. She is the only person here who's been calling you isithakaze yeah ubhizi ngomshengu. I'm like hello. So there's somebody here who is keen, and I mean I verified from knowing you that you are single, because yesterday Benkazama level snacking, catching feelings, and proper relationships. I can't confirm where you are right now, but I know.
Wamuhle.
Yeah.
Wamuhle ngisashadile mina.
But awukho. I mean, I'm confused. Oh yeah. But you're available because melugqibe le process. No. Melugqibe le process. But when available, you declared yourself single and available.
Where did he declare?
I'm gonna go to the post for everyday Zulu. For everyday Zulu. Hello, come on, this guy kana. Get that guy. Come on, kana. This
Hi, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna leave because I need to refill. But
Okay, sure.
Melusi ungabaleki, ne? Ungabaleki, Melusi khulume. There's another thing that I want to ask you actually on behalf of the person in question, yabo.
Yeah.
Ungabi shy.
Okay, you'll come back.
Ungabi shy. Yeah,
You'll
I'll come back. I'll come back. Yeah. Tomorrow there's a show happening of dating here, so you'll come tomorrow too.
Tuto, you'll come back.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Sure. So before so
bazosebenzisa lezi zinto eHome Affairs mase kufanele sinegotiate ama settlement bathi niyabo bathu bebhizi la kuma internet
but you were online dating. Cindy, so do you have a question?
ngiyosala nge-underpant boy.
Mavus. Ninjani Mavus? Sharp. Okay, so the reason why ngithi Mavus ngoba ugogo wami umshevu, so wonke umuntu nje fanele ngimhloniphe wakashabalala. But as you were speaking right now, ne, I don't know if it was Will or you probably picked it up on the Twitter trends or whatnot, but AfriForum won a case against UNISA on the language policy, and with them winning the case, UNISA, the council senate in 2016, 2017 had decided to remove Afrikaans as a medium of instruction in the academic space of UNISA. And decided that for now the default will be English until all the other indigenous languages can be incorporated into the institution, and basically rolling out the education, rolling out education on a much, I don't know whether to say fair or democratic, democratic demograph within the academic space. So the question in a sense would be, how important is it for the development of indigenous languages so that they can facilitate the transfer of knowledge to someone who primarily, like me and you, are probably a little bit better because we're at least somewhat standard proficient in terms of the English language. But even that is still a struggle because mina ngikhulele eThembisa, I'm a multilingual kid, abazali bami amaNdebele, but ngikhula in a household whereby amaSwati, amaZulu, amaNdebele, and amaSwati, abeSuthu. My mother Kimusuwa Wagatse from Lesotho. So you get all these different dynamics that bring me up. And the demographic language, sorry. so sorry. So I sorry, but I wanted to just get your perspective on that one. How do you then transfer the knowledge space in that? Yeah, sharp, Dave. I think that will be it.
Sharp.
I'll listen on the other side.
Sharp.
No, I think the point that you bring up is a valid one, and it is important and imperative. Uguti, we are taught and knowledge is transferred in our own languages. And because conceptually, when you think in your language, right, when you process information in your language, it means something very different to when it is translated. And as you are speaking, Uguti, maybe perhaps, let's say someone who is proficient in English, that's one thing because that's understanding. But that is also not necessarily connecting with that information because it doesn't necessarily relate to who you are fundamentally.
Yeah.
That's why you might understand something, but not really get it. I don't know if you're talking and not really connect with its meaning. But if you go back to people who do not even speak English as a second language or a third language, you have massive challenges. You have children and young people who are not doing well at university, not because they are slow or are intellectually incapable, but processing that information being taught in English, but also the people that are teaching them have no concept of the sort of life and the sort of way that those people process life and information, right? There was a situation where I was at UJ. I was part of a panel where there was exactly that challenge, where they were saying the lecturers and the students are not meeting each other, particularly AUJ, the one that's from Arau. Whereas even if the students understand what you're saying in English, conceptually, you're not coming from the same place, right? Because that's your lives are not the same. So an example that I will make is poverty, right? If you are an economics professor and you're speaking about poverty, when you speak of poverty in English, it's just this nebulous concept, right? But when you speak about it in Zulu, uti intlupheko, you know, and the root word is ukhlupeka, and ukhlupeka is to be poor, but it's to be bothered. Do you know what I mean? If uhluphekile, emphefumulweni uhluphekile, empilweni yakho, then poverty takes on a very different meaning. It's not just this thing. Iyakhlupha, you know, when you are sleeping, when you are existing, uhluphekile. So language is very, very important. And you can't begrudge AfriForum for fighting this fight. You cannot begrudge them. Okay, the problem is us who are not fighting this fight, who are not fighting these fights. You cannot begrudge solidarity for going off and setting up an Afrikaans university and saying this is a private university and we will push an Afrikaans agenda. Why would you begrudge them that? You know, at its core, they are protecting their interests and making sure that their children are well-rounded human beings, are well-rounded Afrikaans children. Vendor-speaking graduates come out of university and they are no longer themselves, right? They've lost essence of what makes them unique. Zulu graduates come out of university and they've lost essence of what makes them unique, what it is that we bring to the world. You know, so we allow ourselves to be whitewashed. So even if you understood the information and you graduated and you did well, you lose a lot of what you brought to the table. To summarize, the brother, I think what you're saying is fundamental to how we will change this country going forward forever and have it be the South Africa that we want it to be. Because we need to hear those uniquely Sotho ideas, because the institutions where our young people are learning allow them to be themselves and don't get diluted. That's where. So
let me take it out. So obviously the question started with Afrikaans and AfriForum. I think my question is, are we putting emphasis and spending time, money, energy on the wrong things or the wrong element within what we're trying to do? So let's go back to South Africa and what we want South Africa to be, or how we think, you know, we should be as a country with 9 or 11 official languages, or South Africa post 1994 elections, right? And let's talk about language. So Afrikaans people see Afrikaans more than a language. That's the first thing.
Yes.
Their entertainment, their business sense, the fact that they were willing to build a university just to maintain the Afrikaans culture, language, way of doing things, way of living. You know, you want to bring Orania, you know, where they literally want to live a certain Afrikaans way, right? And then now and then we would fight about our kids don't speak our home languages, or our kids speak English or whatever. But that's all the dialogue is, right? We are still living the fact that none of us are willing to put money together and support a Sutu or a Zulu business or a black-owned business for that matter. So it's like we have these pockets of things that we find and pick and we make them fancy. And my question is, are we doing that with language, basically, where we are romanticizing the language, but we've skipped the fact that people are not dressing the way that they would be dressed going with the language, or are almost going out of their way to not even look where they come from, right? Their culture. But then we find it exciting that they can still speak Zulu. So you see this woman or hot, or I don't want to call women names, whatever branded names women have, fake hair or whatever hair that they have that they put on. And then people are excited by the fact that, she speaks Zulu, or you are so sexy when you speak Zulu, But we've overlooked 90% of the person has completely left the Zulu culture or being Zulu. And
look, I think, David, there are layers to it. Ne? I think where language becomes important is that language carries very much the essence of who we are. The essence of how we see the world, how we approach the world, how we process information, and how we put ourselves forward to the world, right? But another point, I think the exterior stuff, for me is not very important. Who you are in your essence. If Umusoto, if umzulu or whatever, for me that is neither here nor there. But it's when you wake up in the morning, the things that you believe in, the things that drive you, the things that inform your decision making, who are you in terms of that? I think that's what everything else is just dressing, I think. And then the language thing is important. It can be superficial. But it can also be powerful, even when used as a weapon for defiance. To say, yes, I am in this environment that is, I'm in this world where, be it through media, be it through peer pressure, we are slowly being erased, but I will hold on to this thing. I will speak my language. I will walk into this boardroom, and if across the table from me, there are 9 English speakers and 2 African speakers, and then I see that one Tepo there. And when I speak with Tepo, we will speak. I mean, Zulu, within this blue chip company. I think as a weapon of defiance, it's a lot, and it says a lot about you and how you approach the world and how you view your place in this world, where you're saying, I refuse to be erased.
So can we commercialize not just Zulu? Can we commercialize our languages? So I'm now talking, obviously you've got the everyday Zulu, people can come and learn the language itself, but the world is obviously moving online. Once anything is on the internet, it's available all over the world, right? And then by default, there might be someone in the States who just has interests of wanting to learn how to speak Zulu, or anywhere in the world for that matter. Is there anything wrong with us intentionally saying we have a campaign, we have a marketing campaign, and we want to sell Zulu lessons in Australia, in the UK, in other parts of Africa, to African internationals that have interest in coming to South Africa, or there's nothing to it. It's just.
I think there's nothing. In fact, let me not say I think there's nothing wrong, because that's passive. I think it is important that we export ourselves. You know, it is important that we export ourselves. Just like everyone else sells themselves to us, we must sell ourselves to them. And I can tell you, people are ready for that. It's just us who are not doing it. You know, if you look at Trevor Noah, right? People know that guy, right?
Yeah.
So if you then went and said, I am selling his poster in America, I'm sure there'd be people who are interested in. In fact, I tried to do something similar. It didn't work out with Unesty C. He's launching internationally. I wanted to do a partnership naye, where the title of his album is a Zulu Man with a Little Power, right?
Yeah.
So, and I figured this guy is going to do well, and that's going to generate even further interest in Zulu and Zulu culture. And what I tried to do, it didn't go through, is to say, with each download or however they sell their music, you get a subscription to my portal.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you, we must sell Africa and Africanness to the world.
Yeah. Because we are buying the rest of the world. Yeah, Hardy, sorry to interrupt.
Black Coffee, right? And I can tell you, those that know him and follow him know that. And if you were to sell them that, they would be buyers of that, right? And then even on the Everyday Zulu Facebook page, as well as the online platform, there are subscribers and followers who are from all over the world and are not necessarily expats. So they never lived in South Africa. They have nothing to do with South Africa, but they're just interested in the language.
Yeah.
So that market is there. It is up to us to do something about it. Amakhosa, that brand,
Makhosa, yeah, the design.
So if you're going to sell them that brand, why aren't you selling them other things that go around with that culture? So, all right, when I'm fit, we must sell ourselves and not colonize, just like they colonized us. And I'm not saying oppress, you know, and I don't think it's in our nature, but we must sell ourselves there.
What languages do your kids speak?
Very bad Zulu. Utumelo, his mother is Umtswana. Okay. And for a while he lived in Botswana.
Yeah.
So he's very fluent in his Tswana because he lived in Botswana. My children, when they were much younger, isiZulu sabo was better. And then school came into the picture. Sakala saba nenkinga lapho. Right? Okay. That's where we're starting to have challenges. But it's something that I'm really trying to work hard to fix. And yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, my children bakhuluma Zulu esimangazayo. No. But it's something that I'm trying to sort out as a parent. Yeah.
Do you think there's intention with institutions to try and not necessarily kill, but to suppress African languages? So I'll make you an example. Obviously, I mean, there used to be a time we had to pass Afrikaans for us to pass an entire standard when we were still in school, you know?
Yeah.
And then today, your kid has to do English and maybe another language. Or Afrikaans is still pretty much standard in most schools. But my kids used to go to a school where there were Zulu lessons or classes, but now I'm South Sotho. So a group of us Sotho parents got together, paid an extra teacher or tutor. We couldn't even find a Sotho one. We settled on a Tswana one, who were then extra lessons outside school, extra money, extra day to take them to the lesson. And we tried to, because we were trying to maintain that, you know, our kids must speak our whatever language or home language, or their mother tongue for that matter. Why is it even today, government itself has still not said these 9 languages or African languages must be offered in school or must be compulsory, or you have to pick 1 or 2 of them, and maybe in English or Afrikaans? I mean, it's like we have all these battles, but they are not being made. We are making them harder for ourselves at the same time. You know, whether as a government.
I don't know how government policy works when it comes to schools and language or whatever subjects, but I suspect whatever deals were struck in 1994 have a lot to do with what's happening now.
Yeah.
In terms of that. But I also recently heard somewhere that parents can actually influence what languages schools teach, you know, as much as we can apparently even influence already school holidays dinning. I think we just don't know these things. I think there's a lot of information about how schools run that we don't know. You know, and I learned these things interestingly because Melusi's everyday Zulu is followed by a lot of white women.
Yeah.
You know, you will have this conversation and they'll tell you no. But as a parent, you can influence the language policy at your children's school, and you're complaining about holidays. They're like, no, but you as parents can influence when school holidays are. And they tell you the reason the school holidays are when they are is because parents at some point decided that, and you can still change it. And you're like, hey, what's mangamlane? So so I think it's just we don't investigate enough.
Yeah, we just drop the kids and leave.
Yeah, we do not investigate, and not even at individual school level, at provincial level, because I don't think this is a national issue. I think it's a provincial issue. So I think if we start looking at how the individual provinces operate when it comes to school rules and regulations, we might be shocked by how much power we actually have. But because we are ignorant, we do not participate.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, I know when the school starts, look, some people are even so lazy receiving a WhatsApp from the school WhatsApp group, from the class mom WhatsApp group. Sounds like a job to them. You know, never mind being on some committee or sitting, and that's where all the decisions are made. You know, that's where all the decisions are made by other parents on our behalf and on behalf of our kids or for our kids to live it. I saw someone here saying they're so ashamed their kid doesn't speak Tswana, which is a language, but they're being taught Zulu at school. So going back to what I was saying, our focus, you know, when the Afrikaners are busy with their culture, building a university, having an AfriForum, private prosecutions, you and I start fighting because I want my child to be taught Sotho, you want yours to be taught Zulu. They are in the same school or same sports, and now we spend that time fighting. You know, that was my whole point, that us as Black people in the first place, there's so much that we're missing, you know, that's happening or that we could be doing based on our language and culture, and to try and preserve. You know, we're not saying let's have our kids learn both the languages. We're literally saying, why is my child being forced to learn this language? Now I'm going to spend money for him to go and learn and learn my language. And then obviously the other thing now is with all the mixed marriages, and not even just people of color or not of color, but Sutu people getting together with Zulu people, Xhosa people getting with Tswana people and Venda people, and so now you've got these families where everybody speaks everybody or something, and now there's kind of like English has to be the the compromise. You know, my wife is Zulu or half Zulu, half Greek, brought up in English, right? Brought up in Swaziland, so speaks, understands Swati, which is close to Zulu.
Yeah.
But they speak English at home. Then I meet her, I start speaking English at home or in our house. I wasn't forcing her to learn Sotho or anything. I wasn't going to force her. Although she picks it up here and there, then the kids start being taught Zulu at their school.
Yeah.
I want them to speak Sotho. Then we end up speaking English, So that's why for me, it's a painful thing. But the struggle is I can't force the kids to speak or a certain language. But I'm hoping when they're of a certain age, they can find the importance of why they have to speak or know a certain language or a particular language. I mean, I've got issues of my own. I wish I could speak Venda. I wish I was fluent in Zulu. Because to a huge extent, it affects my work and my career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sure. I understand and I'm trying to make room for, I'm not going to be perfect when it comes to languages or my language. In fact, I'd rather fight bigger battles of black businesses getting work or being successful or supporting black businesses, finding black comedians. That's been my obsession. Whether you spoke Zulu or Tsonga or Pedi or Debele, that wasn't my concern. But I think you've started a movement, and I'm glad that there's already other languages that are everybody's trying to do their everyday Swahili, everyday Tswana, everyday Swati or whatever. But I think now we need to we need to accelerate, put some petrol on it, For me, it's like you being the first black comedian, and now there's all these other comedians that are speaking Zulu, Xhosa, yada yada, but we don't know that much of them or about them. But potentially, you potentially creating like 10 other 10 other people that can make an income and a living from language.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, there are other people who've been doing who've been promoting and trying to preserve their languages in different ways. It's just that my one has a particular style, which is based around storytelling, social commentary. And so when you do everyday Setswana or everyday whatever under the everyday speak umbrella, you do it in that style. That's what you have to be true to. I don't have to be involved in the actual content. Yeah, how? Do you know what I mean? But you have to be true to indlela esenza ngayo as everyday speak. Yeah. Because everyday speak is the umbrella under which all these projects sit. Yeah.
So I want to ask Tuto something, because Tuto is instigator here. What do you mean you can't edit your comments? You type. I can't edit it. You can't edit it. But anyway, so she's asking, why are we speaking English right now? For me, it's simple, because there's nine languages that black people speak. I'd be selfish to sit here and just talk Sotho, knowing very well the people that come to my shows are not just Sotho people. But I can go to Bloemfontein and Lesotho and do an entire show in Sotho, which I've done before. Even the white people in the audience stayed and watched the show.
Yeah, no, look, I think besides, I fully agree with you. I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. Uguti. There are all sorts of people listening, but even you and I would struggle if ngakhuluma isiZulu nje kuphela, when ukhuluma isiSotho kuphela, we wouldn't get anywhere. Yeah.
We wouldn't. I mean, we can go into the economics of it, but we don't have to. But there is a way of commercializing, you know, if we want to then speak. So then we must go and do a stadium in Lesotho or in Kronstadt, you know, and do a Sotho show and make it economically viable. And go to KZN, book Zulu comics. I can still MC in English, but most of them are performing in Zulu. You're doing your thing with your book, you're selling your book in the. That's what we should be focusing on, not whether you can speak Sotho or whether I can speak Zulu. And of course, everybody takes offense when the other person doesn't speak their language, you know. And black people only do that with black people. Black people don't have a problem with white people not speaking their language. But you walk in the room.
Now I think as Umzulu, I've been so self-conscious about that thing of people saying Amazulu don't speak other people's languages. So I've learned other people's languages, and the default for me is that, as I said earlier, if Umusotho, I will immediately speak Sotho Luena, you know, just so that I don't think I even think about it, but I just think, you know, so Sotho and Ritole conversation. Yeah.
I told you that it was a problem.
No,
yeah. So what have you been doing, lockdown? Just besides work or writing? Do you watch TV? Do you watch movies? You wanted to make movies at some.
Well, there's been a lot of writing. I contributed to a book called Lockdown Collection.
Yeah.
Right. That book, I think, has pieces from about 32 or 39 writers, all writing about their experience of lockdown. So, and the pieces vary. Some are quite academic. Now I write about day-to-day things generally. You know, I'm not an academic. I am not a deep thinker in that sense. I just deal with what people deal with day to day. So my story that I wrote as a contribution to this book, Lockdown Collection, was a series of love letters via WhatsApp between two lovers who have been separated by lockdown. And that's what why. Yeah, so it's these WhatsApps between labantu lava, hey, bayafunana kodwa hayi kunzima. So yeah. And yeah, so that's one of the things that I did during this period. Contribute to the Lockdown Collection. It's available. Go at all the bookstores. I think a copy is 270 rands. As I said, it's about 32 or 39 writers. You know, Kaya Dlanga, you know, various people, man. You know, lots of people. But yeah, my piece is very light. Nonsense, fella. It's just Melusi nonsense. And then I've been writing another book where I just recently signed a deal for Yona. It's called Magenge, We Need to Talk. And where that book came from was last year. I mean, and I don't really want to delve into it too much, but, you know, as Tuto. So, okay, what you've pulled up now when I David, what you've pulled up now is Lockdown Extended, which was an ebook that came out during lockdown. And my piece was originally in Lockdown Extended. And there had been another book before Lockdown Extended, I think, Lockdown Chronicles, I think. And then the two, the pieces from the two books were then put together to create a Lockdown collection, which Yona is available as a printed book, whereas these ones were only ebooks because we were in lockdown, hard lockdown. Yeah.
So the lockdown
and again, in data
Lockdown Collection and Lockdown Extended are two different books.
So there was the first one that was published, I think, was called Lockdown Chronicles, and I wasn't part of that. And then I was invited to take part in Lockdown Extended. That's where I submitted my piece, and then those pieces were then taken and put into Lockdown Collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get it. In terms of the evolution and technology and ebooks and whatever, are people still paying like $270 for books? Or is that like normal? I mean, I've bought a lot of books online or on Amazon, or like I said, now I try and get audio books as well, wherever I can. I can listen when I'm writing.
I think we're going to find out, right? But I think in the South African context, people who buy books are people who are very much interested in books. So I think it's people who love the tangibility, the texture, the just the feeling of opening a book, going through the pages of a book, right? What I do hope, though, is that this new world, technology, will bring in new readers who will be reading on their various tablets and devices. So I hope we get new readers. But I think those who are passionate about reading a book, not necessarily reading, but reading a book, will continue to purchase books.
Yeah. So tell me about this one, Magenge, We Need to Talk.
Okay. So this one started, in essence, it's Magenge. Okay. So there's no phrase in Mfethu that's scarier than we need to talk. If someone says to you, hey, David, we need to talk, be it your wife, your banker, hey,
Your landlord.
Yeah, get a jive me out. Anyone, Jerry, we need to talk. But what the book started off as, it's a collection of, you remember when I said I'm still wanting to write a movie or a book or a story about those times in our 20s where we were finding ourselves, because no one tells that story about Black people's lives in 21st century South Africa. So this book is about me, other Black men like me, who are navigating adulthood in 21st century South Africa.
Yeah.
Dealing with the now, right? So, Magenge, we need to talk. It's those conversations that we are having about various things, and also conversations that we need to have about other things.
Yeah.
Right. And so what it is it's snippets of conversations that have happened and conversations, and some of them didn't happen exact, because obviously you have to make it interesting, right? But it's just a bunch of black guys going through life, you know,
Yeah.
Retrapiwa ki the school fees, retrapiwa ki business, retrapiwa ki, yeah. But it's funny though, you know. It's us laughing at Oria. No, life is showing us flames. And then when you look at this cover,
I was gonna come to the cover. Yeah. Did you do the cover yourself? Did you come up with the cover yourself?
No. It's my creative partner, Koliwe Sinuma. Okay. So it's the things that the guys in the book speak about, right? Love, money, fun times, all of that stuff. So it kind of gives a sense about the things that we speak about. But then also we need to talk, then also touches on issues that we're not talking about, right? Issues of anger, issues of of crime, of violence, to say as black men, why do we find ourselves where we are? Right? Because we can't pretend where everything is fine. There's a problem. There's a massive problem. We're not saying other people don't have problems. It's, for me, before you can start saying I have to look at myself. Miss Begemina, which when as Melusi Tshabalala when so it's that. It's a conversation from out to out, right? To say bafethu, and I'll tell you why. For me, I find conversation from out to out is important, because as out, I address you from a place of empathy. Because I'm facing the same challenges. I am not talking down to you. I'm not angry with you. I'm not saying Olesepa. I'm not saying we are bad. I'm saying, hey, I'll tell me, we can't carry on like this. Mina now. Mina now. We can't carry on like this,
What inspired this book then? What made you want to talk to other guys? Was there an incident or like an inciting incident, like they say in movies or books? Whatever event, it could be having a daughter or a child, a girl child relationship.
I think it goes back to the same genesis as that Everyday Zulu project. When I was turning 40 and I started looking at my life, going, from when I was a teenager up to my late 30s, it was just vurvai, vurvai of nonsense. And I'm not saying I regret any of it. I'm just going, and also now my world is very ma'outy heavy. Ma'out. When I say my friends, I mean ma'outy, abaya. You know what I mean? Ma'outy. I have women friends, but those are people I'll speak to on the phone. Young John. But if I say I feel like a bear, I am going to ama out. So I know ama out, ngicabanga njenge out, ngenza izinto zama out, and ngiyayazi nonsense yama out, and ngiyazi sifakana ngekhanda. So just like isikwazi ukufakana ngekhanda, asikhiphaneni kule nyongo esizifake kuyo.
Yeah.
Because iqiniso is that if you look at inking eningi South Africa, kune out yodaki lapho yenza inonsense. Siyathanda asithandi, kune out yodaki emoshayo da. Corruption ukhona usibuda ku-corruption. Buye lapha ubuild isikole esiwayo, kuno sisoshayiwe ushayiwe uThepho, kune farm murder uRudzani. Uyangithola ngisho ukuthi And it's like, guys, do we not want to change the narrative? Do we not want to not be those guys? Which yonki intonje, ehamba wrong, mawvuli newspaper, you know who you're going to find in there. Young Jola. And why must that? And the problem is that we have accepted some of these things as if that's what EOT is.
Yeah.
And that is not who EOT has to be.
And
I'm not saying I've got answers. I don't have answers. I really don't. But I'm saying let's start talking as about fit and saying, gents, senzani, you know. Asikere ukamba manga, splemu banbani, yiti da. And yes, there are reasons these things happen. So the other thing is, I got myself a life coach. Because by myself, I'm not going to be able to fix this thing. I'm not speaking about fixing them out, fixing umelus, you know. Because and some of these issues you start realizing what they're deep-seated. Isn't ezingaphakathi kwakho ezixakayo nawe.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that you know, hence the title Magenge, we need to talk. I'm not saying we only need to talk to each other. I'm also saying we need to talk to professionals, people who can help us with the tools to deal with our anger issues, you know, to understand, why do I get so angry? Why am I so easily offended? Young John, why am I so insecure? In danger, you know, and stop accepting these things would know because me out bang joyla. Why when I don't into book joyla? You know, so we need to equip ourselves with the tools as a mouth to be better. And we also need to stop this thing. No, let's teach our sons. No. Yes, firstly, we will only teach our sons through example. So you can't say you're going to teach your son while you continue to be nonsense, because that's not working, right? But even if, let's say, you were to succeed to teach your son, you are 40 now. If you now are 40 and you are flawed and you are going to die at 80, are you saying it's okay for you to do another 40 years with nonsense? No, we need to fix us. And again, I'm not saying abanye abantu are perfect. That's their baby. I can't sit here as Melusi and say, hey, yeah, but my neighbor sucks. That's my neighbor's problem. I need to deal with me.
So I think a lot of people have these thoughts, you know, but nobody speaks, or nobody speaks out, or nobody says anything. And of course, it's gonna take a movie or someone writing a book about, it's like how things go viral, or what it takes for a Black Lives Matter to happen, or those marches to happen in the States. But for it to get to people finally going, you know what, we are thinking the same exact thing. You know, I think this book, it's one of those things, especially for our generation, because like I told you, you know, we went to that anti-women previous GBV march, anti-women killing and anti-women abuse, and the purpose of that entire initiative came from, gents, there's something wrong here, and there's definitely something wrong with black men, right? Because there's all these black bodies that keep turning up. I mean, literally June was like every day, bro. And you know, and we argued about it in the group, the WhatsApp group. You know, you wake up, you're in a WhatsApp group. It was one of those, and then you find out what it's about. Then you're like, okay, it was started by this person. I know them. And you know, in all those arguments, are we marching? There's COVID. We are not protected. How are we gonna march? Okay, then it's a drive. You know, all it took for me was Tebo was saying to me, Mdalo, what if it was my daughter? You know, because you know Tebo was got like a 18, 19-year-old girl, and for me, then we started saying, okay, well, how are we gonna do this? We went past the, are you gonna be in? Are you out? But it does come from a group of guys got together and went, gents, there's something wrong. We need to discuss or talk about something. And then obviously then the issues that come up is some of the people you know or your friends or that guy is doing this or that guy is beating up his girlfriend or wife or that one is abusing the wife because you won't give her money if she's not doing this and controlling her and blah 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 blah. And you are right. There's something that we need to fucking start talking about as
Yeah.
especially as
Yeah.
Black African men.
And for me now, when I David, and I didn't want to get into it, but I looked at the matches, ne? And I was like, I'm a match for me now, angeke enze nix. Because as I'm out, sidinga ukuzisolva thina. Ukuyomatch and say, yeah, no, I'm against GBV, and then what? And then kwenzani? Do you know what I mean? Well, and I'm not saying people shouldn't match. I'm saying for me, I looked at this thing, I say I match, and then what? So I put my hand up because, yes, you're saying me, I don't beat women or I don't do this. Good for you, but you've also got your own other challenges, right? But also and it's so easy to distance yourself from the problem and say it's someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas if we and this is my view, I'm not saying I'm right, but if we start saying, Eba Fit, we need to have forums where we sit and we talk, where we delve deep into the issues that make us who we are in whatever form that manifests, right?
Yeah.
What are the tools that we are equipping ourselves and each other with to deal with our emotions, to understand our emotions, and not be reactionary every time we do something. Now we're going to march against heists. It's like we must fix.
The marching thing is such a sensitive issue. How the idea comes and how people resort to that. So for us, it became one of the things that we can
Sure,
do.
sure.
Yeah. So, but I know exactly what you're saying because also you are like, white people never marched. The only 2 times they've ever marched, they wanted to save the rhino. They wanted to get rid of Jacob Zuma, and they got what they wanted in both instances. The only times we really saw white people marching post-democratic South Africa, right?
Yeah.
So now we sit there, and then you find out there was some march yesterday you didn't even know about, which means those people got nowhere. There was no one to receive any memorandum. No one gives a shit about their grievances. So I understand exactly what you're saying about the concept of a march. I used to, I don't know if I used to do it as a joke, because I would say the ANC came up with a blueprint for marching or protesting, and now you're trying to protest against them. It's almost like they've taken out some features, and right now it doesn't do shit.
Look, and again, David, let me take it one step back. Where I think the matches are good, ne, is that maybe the good way, a PR exercise that makes even the guy who was just sitting at home to start thinking, young Tola. So
Yeah.
that when the conversations start happening, lo muntu is open to that. Uyangithola. But
Yeah.
if sizophelela nje ukuthi siyamacha siyadlalisa, we are just going to get cold for nothing, baba. Because, for instance, if the issue is men, what memorandum are men giving to the government to do what? Saying what? Arrest me. I don't know if you're telling me, So I think, yes, it's good to raise awareness so that men start going, okay, something is going on. But ayingapheleli lapho. ayingapheleli lapho. Let's sit and there are many movements that are happening, you know. There are many organizations that are already doing these things. We need to get more and more men participating. So I'm not saying those things don't exist. We need to the call should be, Makenge, let's talk, as in, go join Brothers for Life. They've got programs. Go talk to those guys. Go to your church leaders. Go talk to those guys. Young tall. And because sometimes people, men or whomever, feel overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. Young tall. So maybe you're looking around and you don't like the way that the guys in your neighborhood or the guys in your circle do things, but you don't know how to break out of that and you don't know where to start. So it then to spread that information with no buffet, you know, here's this program that exists in your neighborhood. Here's a program that exists in your neighborhood. I think that's important. Young Tola. So I think if the point of creating visibility is then supported by something solid, then we might get somewhere. But if just a PR exercise to appease women for 2 minutes and then we carry on with our lives until something else happens, then and for me, you know, another issue is that I come from a place, and when I say place, I mean within me. Where I live and die for Rabafe to me. So the first thing is to forever, right? And so I come from a place of love for Makenge and saying, I can see we're not in a good space. As a scheme, you know, and I'll say scheme song, you're all however million of us in South Africa. We're not in a good place and we need to sort ourselves out and get to a good point. And
So, having said that, and exactly your sentence or two sentences ago, in most times, and I don't necessarily say I'm a product of it, but I think it has happened to me to some extent. We keep hearing you are a product of people that you surround yourself with, right? Or the company that you keep, pretty much. And I'm going back to you as you're progressing in your life from, you know, like when we used to drive around hanging out at Jungle Connection, you know, there was always chasing women. At least for me, you know, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking. Going to 115 or going to Tando with Fat Joe whether it's DJing or we're just hanging out. But just from whatever you're trying to achieve, starting with yourself, with the book, going back to how people always say the company you keep, or you are a product of an average of whatever number of people you surround yourself with. And now going into you saying, no pilela majita, you know, or umutwa majita. Where do you find the balance? I don't know if your life coach has even brought it up or mentioned it as a problem. I don't know if it came up in your marriage or in your relationships where someone or people will find maybe this is the problem, or maybe it's because you hang out with such and such, or you must stop hanging out with so and so. Are you dealing with that? How are you dealing with that? Or
no, none negili the one, but you must stop hanging out with Melusi. Negili the one mentioned in other people's marriages. Look, you see, and I don't sit here, you know, and that's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Azazmi, you know, and where I've been and what I've been about. And so So that's why, you know, when the hashtag came out, men are trash. Me, I never complained, you know. I was like, but I know what they're talking about. I'm not gonna come be a crybaby about this thing. But we need to do better. You know, we need to do better. And one thing that I'm very vigilant about, Mina, is this thing of abdicating responsibility to our children and saying we will raise our sons better, whereas Tina, we still walk this earth. We ourselves are still problematic. We need to fix ourselves and then be good examples for our sons and share. And even if maybe the shady paths that we have walked and those we're able to guide our children through those, but we have credibility when we guide our children through those, when they can see Nati, we've made progress. You know, no, don't do this, don't do that, but they can see you are trash, you there, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that. So and I think we must also stop lying and pretending we are great humans. And I'm not saying men are horrible human beings. I'm not saying as an individual. Yes, if you've been great, you've been great. But I'm not going to sit here, Mina, and say I've been great. I mean, there's a WhatsApp group that I joined about.
I'm in it. I saw it today.
No, not that one. There's one with guys from former high school buddies. You know?
Okay.
And I think the first week they were just reminding me, you know. And I was like, hey, Khaleki started this trash thing, you know what I mean? And I was like, hey, yeah, Chess, you know, maybe I was going through some stuff at the time. So, but what I'm saying is we need to acknowledge and some of those things, you know, it's not because you're a bad guy. You're just going through your own things, and perhaps it might be the circles that
this is the first
yeah.
Tamba must be the first person to get a copy of the book when it comes out.
No, but I
think never change. Or no one will ever change him.
I think, you know, when David, the thing about the book is not a guide to
no, but
to change.
It's gonna ring a bell. It's gonna ring a bell.
Yeah, you know, it's but Geranje, it's important, and also and we need to stop saying no, but low unje. Naki shebilenna me out, to be honest, to begin with. Nje kishebilenna. And if my what I'm saying doesn't resonate with the next person, you know, I really hope it does. But if it doesn't, you know, I've got my life to live, you've got your life to live. But I'm hoping that we can all contribute whatever we can towards building a society that works for all of us, a society that is functioning for all of us, and regardless of gender or race or anything like that. Yes, there are specific interventions that have to be put into place, and there are certain sections of the population that maybe need to be uncomfortable in order for other sections of the population to do so. Maybe white people need to be uncomfortable and lose some things in order for us to get to an equal footing. And by lose, I don't mean crime, you know. Maybe men need to become uncomfortable and lose certain things so that we get onto an equal footing. But as a society that is healthier, it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Even you who thinks racism works for you, it doesn't. Racism does not work for you. You know, you thinking having the upper hand because you're a man works for you. It doesn't, you know. An upper hand doesn't work, Ndati. You know, an upper hand doesn't work. Yeah.
No, man. I think you know, you've obviously said a lot, and I've seen you through so many faces in your life.
Brother.
And I appreciate you trusting me, you know, even just doing this show.
Listen, I know there are people who are probably watching now going, Unamanga lo, yes. They're like, man, no, this one is lying.
But for me, you know, I'm glad I was, you know, I mean, fuck, I've seen bits and trailers and chapters of your life for at least the past 20 years, you know, and you, it's not like you were there and you vanished. You know, remember, we've lost people along the way. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, people lost friends just yesterday. You know, from Korikori. You know, some people we might know. And we lost people to some of the usual suspects, about HIV. We lost people to car accidents. You know, we lost people to probably drinking and driving, and so many people, you know, our generation and the people that we used to hang out with, we used to party with, and everyone had their journeys, you know. And I'm glad that I've been there, man, and I'm happy I'm seeing this chapter of yours. You know, I'm excited. I think sometimes I used to try to say to you, "Hey man, you must do this, man. Hey man, why don't you do this?" You know, I don't know how many times or how many years we planned we're gonna have coffee or I'm gonna come to your offices,
Yeah.
company. You know, so I'm fucking excited, man. And you know, I was excited about just your feature on Facebook. You know,
No target, brother.
book. Now there's like fucking 3, 4 books. You know, there's another book. There's 2 other books where you're featured. And I'm telling you, bro, now I'm down, man. This shit is, you started a small media empire. One of my biggest things I want to do is change ownership of media in this country and in this continent.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. And obviously, there's different approaches to it. And you've covered one part of it, you know. And you're giving Mukaris your Power FM, and them are doing their bit. Of course, we can say all the other stations are 49% black owned or 51%. But when it comes to ownership and control, I think everybody here knows what I'm talking about. You know, we're not trying to dance around. You're a shareholder, or same as being a shareholder in an ad agency. If it's white owned, founded by white people or white business or white money, white clients, it is what it is. You know, so you've started an empire, bruh, and
Look, I wouldn't call it an empire just yet. I think
it
it's
has,
the seedlings, you know.
and sadly or ironically, you want to take others with you, right? You want to take my gang with you. You are hoping the best for Majita. And I think for me, it's actually something you need to watch yourself, or someone else must watch you, because you're not going to be able to rescue everyone or take everyone with you. And it's going to come at a cost either way. That I can tell you. You have to be mindful.
I hear you, my brother. You remember I said to you, you know, one of the reasons and I'm not saying I'd ever taken anyone with me, but one of the reasons I did Melusi's Everyday Zulu that I wanted to track, you know, and I am at that point in my life where I am, as much as and but I am very singular about me and my family, Montola, and it's me and my children right now, you know, and that's what I'm about.
Yeah. No, brother, thank you so much, man, and all the best with the parenting and you know, I don't know. I went through phases when, you know, I had my firstborn, and then when my daughter was born, like something happened to me, you know, just the way I think, how I act, or how I try to not act, and nothing is easy. Nothing happens overnight. every day is a struggle. You know, that's why the conversation,
dude, dog, yeah.
You know, that's why the conversation, and we're not having these conversations, man. I spoke to a friend today, and he's like, "Bruh," and I said to him yesterday, maybe a bit of today, you know, I was just feeling like shit, you know, and these guys might not even notice. There's nights I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing the show tonight, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've done Monday, Tuesday, I can skip Wednesday, or fuck it, I'm not gonna do Saturday, and then start doing the show, and like 5-10 minutes into the show, it's like completely on another level altogether, you know, with the vibe that's in the show, with what people are getting from the show, that I feel like, fuck man, you know, I almost didn't deliver, or I almost didn't bring that. So, but the biggest problem, and my point is, especially black men, we don't fucking talk. We don't even talk about the basics. You know how many people we drink with, hang out with, fuck around with? Nobody knows what anybody does.
Yeah.
White people walk into a room, 5-10 minutes, they're already doing business with each other. It's never made sense to me how we don't realize the basic things that can change our lives and make us better. You know, us, it's like you're invading, or you want to steal, or you want to jealous, or you want what the other person has. You know, if you and I were on a plane to Durban, bruh, and we had 55 minutes. I know you asked me how long is the interview. By the way, we've done 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Yes, man. This is way past my bedtime.
Because you freaked out when I said to you 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. So imagine if you and I were on a plane to Durban. 40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, maybe, you know. You would probably get in your seat, put on your seatbelt, take out your book, look forward, or take a nap, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you and I both know, if we were flying and there was some other person that you thought was interesting, you would want to know what they do, or the other person would randomly start talking to you, more likely than a black brother to a black brother taking their time and being like, "Hey, chief, Fede, Debene, what's happening, Waspana, yada yada." But just that balance also between not intruding, but also just having that conversation of, what brings you to Devon? No, you know, I lost my mother, or we have a family bereavement, or whatever, you know. Oh man, words of comfort, yada yada. Just, you know, just simple, basic things. We have a lot to learn as just black men, at least our generation, you know.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for this session, man. It's
no, kubonga mina mfethu, ngiyabonga impela, ngiyabonga ukuthi ungimemile. Yeah, ngiya-appreciate the brother. And then
yeah, I know the craziness that happens here every day. Everyone here is in there. They're literally trying to run their own show on the side while we're talking.
Hayi, mfokaka uthi ngiyolala mina ndoda.
In fact, thanks so much, man. Say what's up to your kids, and I hope you're safe, and your parents, wherever they are, you know. Let's get away from the
we're safe.
And wash our hands and sanitize and shit, you know, and just stay home if we can.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm really trying to stay home. Yeah. All of the brother.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Nani nisalini lapho yeah, nobuhlanya benu. Sharp, bitch.
Sharp. Oh, guys. Yes, you're like those children that someone has to say to them, I'm watching your comments. What's that? Hi. Guys, thanks so much. Thanks for coming. What up, Ntwa? This was very insightful, man. Oh wow. You can find him on Facebook. Everyday Zulu on Facebook. Melusi Tshabalala, his personal profile. Everyday Zulu on Twitter. Chief Nakalorabala. I'm probably gonna go make peanut butter and jam, and then sleep. My fire died long ago. I bought the wrong wood. They took me for a ride this time. I changed suppliers. I ended up with shit wood. So the past 2 nights have been very sad with my fire. My fire has not been what it is. Oh wow! Somebody just gave me £2, guys. $1.99. Princess. I think, Princess, this is my first super chat. What? I don't even know, guys, what this thing is, but I got it. Guys, Princess just gave me £2. £199. That is 40 Rand. That's a lot of money in South Africa. I can boost an interview for that. So, Mtwa, thank you very much. Mtwa, okay, I don't know how to keep it here now. I must learn how to use the super chats. Or maybe on YouTube, I can do something with it. Mtwa, thank you very much, man. You delivered 40 tickets for Team Donald Care's concert. Princess, we delivered 20 tickets for Donald Care's concert. Thank you so much, guys. That's amazing, man. Remember, guys, tomorrow night, those of you, yeah, Donald just sent me a message, man. Dope, bro. Donald just got the cash, Mtwa. Thank you very much. Awesome. And then I must still send. Becky, did you reply my messages? Rebecca? Let me see if Rebecca replied to me. Ish. Rebecca is not well. Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk offline. Mtwa, thanks very much. Oh, I'm being told it's Johnny, be careful because YouTube thinks you are now donating 42 Rand, 55 Rand. When you might be trying to translate. You might be trying to translate Princess's super chat. Mtwa, thanks so much, man. Princess, thank you. I'm trying to figure out because there's a thing that's supposed to happen with a super chat, or like it stays on the thing. I'll tell you now. I'm supposed to be able to ping your IE. Report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user, add moderator. I. Thank you, Bush. I'm gonna screen grab this. I'll send it to you on Instagram. When Azano, what Jimmy Sasihle? Princess Bushes. Sihle, you are still here. No, guys. I need to sleep. What? 80 tickets? Damn, man. That is 80 tickets. Bathong. No, Mtwa, we appreciate it, man. Donald must give us tickets then. Tuto went to sleep, Shem, guys. Leave her. Osanal overdose, yeah, sure. She went to bed. Another good show coming soon. Sishe, are you okay? Can we end the show? Umixa ing tamarobala, my brother. Itumele, I think the brother. Temba, how many phones did you unlock today? Shout out to my guest Melusi for being here. Best bookshelf I've ever seen in all these interviews and Zoom interviews and anything. Best I've seen. Thanks to everyone. If it was your first time here, you're welcome to the family. Come back tomorrow night. So far for tomorrow night, what I know for a fact will be happening is 10 p.m. I'll be here. I don't know with who. I know you guys will be here. I do not have a guest, but I know 10 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm going to be here. Same couch, same fireplace, same laptop, same internet, unkept, no clouds, no rains. You've been watching David Kaula. Oh, yeah. By the way, guys, I think we are now having more people watching from YouTube than from Facebook, which is fantastic news because that's what we want. We wanna move people. Yep, we got more people now on YouTube than we have people watching on Facebook. Thank you guys for doing the right thing. I know some of you Facebookers might be sleeping now. It's okay. But slowly but surely we shall move all the infrastructure to your show. Let me just check out your comments. If you're not yet subscribing, please subscribe. Lerato la rata la 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 rachachutuku. Watching from UK, definitely gonna watch every night. Lerato, do you wanna join us? Do you wanna say hi? I can put the link and we can welcome you to the family. I know you might be in pajamas or whatever, or you've got your that thing, whatever that cucumber or avocado on your face. It's okay. We are family here. So Lerato, let us know if you want to say hi. We just hit you the link. You just press on the link. We just gave you the link. Aw, sihleli laptop yakhe. Aye. Yeah, so the average number of people tonight in the chat is 40 on the chat, yeah. But people watching, there's more people watching. Some people don't say anything. They're just watching. There's about 60 people watching on YouTube. And then the balance of about 50 on YouTube, 14 on Facebook. Dave, Donald's show, mate. I'm not in Twitter. The show is not on Twitter, but you can buy a ticket. Go to any of his social media. There's a link, and then you just buy the ticket, and then you can watch the show. It's not on Twitter, but it's online. Or batla breaker code. wena Themba. Mhlana kujabulile mina. Benifuna ukuthetha ngoku man uhambile uMelusi senithulile. Nyageza man. Bring more people, my brother. Every night. Guys, when we start the show, you go, you share, copy, paste, forward the link to the live broadcast on your Twitter, on your Facebooks, on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, wherever. What happened to free tickets? When you were here, Donald was here. We were giving away free tickets. All you had to do was hashtag Team Donald Cares concert. And then your name was taken. You went to Twitter, you did that, and tickets were given. People have tickets, bruh. Hambo cheka kaloku. When you want to win a ticket the way you want to win a ticket, Themba, you don't want to follow how to win the ticket, which is you go to Twitter, you put your name, your email address, you hashtag Team Donald Cares, Team David Gau, and you tag me and Donald on Twitter, and a ticket gets emailed to you, the brother. That's it. That's all you gotta do. As it fault yaka naku bathi ku-Twitter how batla o wina ticket ya Donald. That's what you have to do. Nna ke shapu hi. Nna ke mo le bo le bona ba bo o. I know my lap, quote of the week. I know my laptop, not my lap. I'll ask Donald if he still has tickets, guys. Ngizosala ngiklina hambani. Oh wow. Oh yes, guys, tonight 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. we're back. David Gao live. Have mistakenly bought airtime, which is equivalent to my 4-digit PIN, Zano. Oh, my, it says your browser doesn't support. Use Chrome. What are you using? Are you on a phone or laptop? Chrome is better. Safari should work. No, Firefox should work, but Chrome is better. Lirato. Caesar, where do people get your merch? Just put in the comments your what you call your handles, your social media handles, or your Facebook handle. I know my laptop. So tomorrow night, guys, 8 p.m. Donald's show. From Donald's show, we come and meet here at 10 o'clock. We'll give him 1 hour after his show to shower, have a bath, paint his lips red, put on his gown and his flip-flops, have some ostrich steak, and then by 10 o'clock you should be ready for us. I'm gonna invite Melo tomorrow night, actually. If you haven't yet seen Melo's video, guys, check out Melo Dikgomo on YouTube. Check out her music video. I'm gonna ask her to come through because after Donald's show, I want us to discuss our next live show that we're gonna get involved in, and that's gonna be Melo's live show. Check out her EP. EP is like before your first album. It's got about 6 tracks. It's called Ashule. ASOLE. It's available everywhere. All the places, the usual suspects that sell music online, all the apps. It's there. Just check out Melo Dikgomo is the title of the album, or Melo Mino. It's easier to search that way. I'm gonna ask her to come through tonight after Donald's concert. In fact, she must also come to Donald's concert. Before that, she must also post her red carpet Don from 5:30, 6 p.m. online, on Twitter, wherever. Let's make Donald's show trend tomorrow night, guys. Let's make Team Donald Cares concert trend tomorrow night. I know Team Donald comes through for us. They come through for me on Twitter. Let's come through for them tomorrow, and let's have them come back and join. Lerato go London or go Mokopane? Temba, what music? Where did you send the music? Tell me where you send the music. Where did you send the music, Temba? Zanokolo is going to sleep, guys, before us. Wow, miracles happen. Tuto has gone to sleep. Zano is going to sleep. I'm waiting for Sihle to go to sleep. Yeah, we still have to do your yoga, Wena. Okay, I'll check my email, brother. I'll check my email. Lerato ya pala, ya hana. Just waiting for Lerato to try and say hi, guys. She can wave to us from London. Yeah, from London. You understand what I was saying about when I speak to people, yeah? Because now she's from London, right? And she's going to have to hear me. And for her to understand what I'm saying, I'm going to have to obviously speak. I'm from London as well, yeah? So, Mzianda, you're always going to sleep, yeah? Oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You gotta go, I guess. You gotta go. I can't stop you. Sihle is also gone, yeah? She's also gone. Usual suspects, they're all going to sleep, yeah? It's just like children on sugar, yeah? Everywhere for 2 hours, everywhere. All of a sudden, 5 minutes, that's all it takes. And all of a sudden, shoot, they're going to sleep. Oh my God. It's just like children. Oh, thank you. Oh, Tamba, it's not that good, really. I mean, I didn't even practice it. I just, I just thought there's someone here from London, and I thought, oh my God, she's got to hear me. She's got to understand what I'm saying, right? She's got to understand what I'm saying. So, guys, when the royal wedding happened, whatever royal wedding that was, Meghan and I think Harry, yeah, the last one. The wedding, when it was being broadcast on TV, my wife made me and the kids, everyone in the house, speak in a British accent the whole day, the entire time when we were watching the wedding. Tomorrow night or tonight, on tonight's show, remind me to get my kids to try and speak in a British accent. See if they remember that day. Yeah, good night, yeah. Good night. You're becoming Bree. It's an interesting name, yeah. You were not Bree, now you are Bree, or you will soon be Bree. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Mapau boy. What's that? Mapau. Oh my god. That name is hitting me, yeah. It's hitting my throat. It's hitting my jaws. It's everywhere is hitting now. Good night, Brian. Good night. Lol, mate. Yeah. Lol, mate. No, not really. You see, Princess, you out there, right? You're there in what you call in London. You're there out there. You're out there in London. Yeah, in the UK. Are you in London, or you're somewhere else in the UK? Maybe you could be in Manchester. I don't know. Let me know where exactly you are. I'm guessing Lerato is not gonna make it. Yeah, Lerato, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a link again, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, before the show, we can test you. Can test your browser. Yeah, we'll test your browser. We'll test your live. We'll test your internet. We'll test your everything. We even test you for the thing that we won't talk about on the show. Just make sure we test everything. See, Princess is in Leeds, right? So if you guys remember, Lucas Fatebe, yeah, used to play for Leeds United, yeah. But I think they've since been out of the league, yeah. Yeah, they're like the Jomo Cosmos of the UK. Sometimes they're in the league, sometimes they're out, they're not there. 1 minute they're there, you look, and they're not there. But oh my God, uh, that's later, mate. Yeah, we'll see you, mate. Thank you so much, Patrol. I really, yo, man. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Take it easy out there, man. You know what I mean? Come back tomorrow, man. Na Temba yanong utsana ay Temba. Temba, what type of a computer guy are you? Yeah, Lerato has been to Leeds also. Lerato, what do you do in London? What are you doing in London? Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everyone. Good night, mate. Good night. Yeah. Good night. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Remember, also you do that, and then if it's not tickets get allocated, yeah. Just keep doing it and tell him and tag him, tag me. I'll go back and I'll also go check now and say, listen, Donald, I got Team David Carl, and they're saying they haven't received any of their tickets. Yeah. Remember, it's also first come, first serve, my brother. Guys, thank you so much. 2 hours, 49 minutes. Almost 3 hours. Siloko, yo no, siloko, yo, silokolo, sinokoli, when you don't have a picture here, we just admit and agree you are a man. So you better be a man. Sinokrololo, sinokolila, kilaka. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. And thanks for watching on YouTube. Your Facebook people, prepare yourself. Sooner or later, you can only come to YouTube. Come watch me. David Cow Life here on YouTube, and let the sinner sooner or later. And it got a back. Make it what I did. Silicon. No, you are. Yo, Lerato, 16 years. What? Are you the one that interviewed Melo? Oh wow, fuck, that would be so cool. Come tomorrow. So come and be on the show tomorrow because she'll be here tomorrow. Let me screen grab this and then I'm gonna send it to them. No, Lerato, so come through tomorrow night. You can talk to Donald. We can arrange an interview for you to interview Donald on your London radio station. And I can get Mello here. We can all get together. Actually, you're my guest tomorrow, Lerato. Guys, we have found a guest for tomorrow, but we must work on her browser. Lerato, are you on Twitter or Instagram? I want to DM you. Because I'm going to need a picture. I'm going to need you to make a video. And yeah, we are here at 10 p.m. South African time until whenever. Sometimes 1 a.m., sometimes max 2 a.m. South African time. So you can tell me what time UK time you can make it from 10 p.m. South African time. So even if you join us 11 p.m. South African time, it's okay. But you should definitely be on the show. Book a studio session for my music career. Oh no, guys, no, I don't. No, oh yeah, okay, sharp. No, I'll book the time. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm booking the time. Yeah, sure, no problem. So, guys, Lerato Lala Rakhoto has agreed to be our guest tomorrow night. Queen Lala. Yo, Queen Lala. Guys, that's our guest tomorrow night. Follow her and come prepared, guys. Do not embarrass me tomorrow night. Sooner or later, the Queen take it one heartbeat at a time. Queen Lala 1001. This account is private. Well, UK Miss KV 2013 university graduate with an honors, international face of G production, DJ at Diplomatic Radio. Oh, you that I'll follow Diplomatic Radio as well. I have now followed Diplomatic Radio. Well, I guess there's no escaping me now. Okay. So now that I am following you, if you follow me back, I shall DM you my number and then you shall WhatsApp me your picture I could use to advertise the show. You can send me a video, Yana. Hey guys, I'm Lerato Lala Khoto. I'm I'm DJ at the studio at DJ What Radio What. I'm here or here. I'm gonna be on live, yeah, at 10 p.m. South African time, tonight on Thursday. Yeah, something like that. Hey, Temba gets it. No, every comment, guys. Temba is running amok, and he says we will bath tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big night, guys. We've got a red carpet for Donald show. We've got Donald show. Then we've got our show. So yes, we were bathing tomorrow night. Lerato will see you. I'm sure you've got a few followers now. Sizwe Zato. Okay, guys. Good night. Ah, wow. The Sizwe is already picking Lerato. Oh, Wabatung, guys. Hi. Good night, guys. Awabatumba Mudini Temba. Zanu is definitely going into quarantine. Guys, good night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate every single minute you spend here, all your data money that you spend here. And my last words, my last few words. Good night. And I'm out. Cut. Kitty cat. Cut. Keep cut.